I think it's about time I make some more content for my channel.
Why did you shatter just now, Mom?
I don't know.
Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. For today's Skyrim mod showcase on the PlayStation 4, we'll be taking a look at a mod that I've actually had in my loader about as long as I've been modding Skyrim that adds Khajiit Kittens into the game. I always thought that it was odd that in the vanilla Skyrim that the only race that had children that are represented is the human race. The Khajiit, the Argonians, orcs, etc. None of these have any child races in the game, which is quite odd. This mod aims to change that, at least where the Khajiit are concerned. Why is it never fails every time I do a showcase? I'll let Lydia take care of you. Anyways, as I was saying, while I run bravely away, this mod aims to change that by adding Khajiit Kittens, 6 in total, to Skyrim. The kittens will travel with 3 different caravans, like Rasad's caravan for example, and will travel in groups of 2. They are supposed to sell various items that were hard to come by before. Things like, hopefully bear spray would be nice for an example. So while I'm out here getting to meet the friendly wildlife, why don't we take a look at exactly what this mod has to offer. So you can very easily find this mod by simply typing kittens into the search function, and 2 results will come up, an English version and a French version. I will of course be using the English version. So the name of this mod is Khajiit Caravan Kittens, Children of Tamriel. It is by the mod author IronChickenToo, and this is version 1 of the mod. The description in part reads, Khajiit kittens have wares if you have coin. Rasad has taken in 6 young strays and is teaching them to trade. All of the kittens are merchants and sell a variety of wares. Each caravan has slightly different goods which consist of things the kittens have managed to trade with people en route or have acquired through other means. The kitten stock changes depending on what they've managed to acquire. They sell a few new spell tomes and books, but they mainly sell other items that were very often hard to come by before. Let's go ahead and take a look here. You can see the kitten stock. Here is a list of it if you'd like to pause the video. This is some of the things they have. They do have 3 new spell tomes as well. But as we go down here, it says they seem vague about where the stock comes from, saying something about it falling off the back of a cart and finding it. Best not to ask. So as for the kittens and the caravans that they will travel with, they have daily routines, and while the caravan is camped outside the cities, the kittens will have individual daily schedules and practice their weapon, magic, and sneaking skills. The kittens travel across Skyrim with the caravans, and you will bump into them on the roads between their camps. Their trading services are available 24/7, and they quite like being interrupted from their studies in the camps and will happily stop to trade while on the road. The kittens are Kira and Jazan that travel between Whiterun and Markrath with Rasad's caravan, Josie and Mirai that travel between Windhelm and Solitude with Madran's caravan, and finally Zuki and Amar that travel between Dawnstar and Riften with Akari's caravan. And as I continue to scroll down here, you'll see that there is quite a lot of information that I do highly suggest, especially here in the compatibility section, that you read if you're going to use this mod. There is a few minor issues with it, one that I'm aware of to do with Rasad's caravan when the kittens are camped outside of Whiterun. It's nothing major, but I will be covering it in the video. I knew I should have took that left turn at Albuquerque. So Lydia and I are currently lost out here. We've been traveling where the kittens are supposed to be, but so far I haven't seen hide nor hair of them.
This doesn't concern you.
That's not what I'm looking for. But in any case, they can be quite difficult to track when they are just on the road, as I'm finding out here. I'm going to be putting a tracker on the little fur balls, but there's got to be some way to get them to come to me. Hey, wait a minute. I know.
Din din! I want chicken, I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
Hi there. Yes?
It never fails. So I finally came across the kittens, and I had to put a tracker on them for them to finally catch up with the caravan. They were separated from them. But in any case, the leader of this caravan, which is Madran, and his name is wrong in the mod description, he is the leader, and he does have some items for sale that is different from the kittens that we'll take a look at here. I'm just going to quickly kind of scroll through. I don't know, looks like he does have, yeah, some fishing CC content, as well as, I do believe they have, yeah, Saints and Seducers. So they may have some items that are also rare. To be honest, I can't really recall what is rare and what isn't in the game and stuff, as far as that goes, but he has a lot of things here. You can see there's some stuff for your children if you have any in the game, bunch of different potions and stuff. He has quite a lot to sell here in his stock. Also, some other things you can talk to, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. This one can teach you lock picking, but here is the kitten that ran up earlier, Josie. And so if I can get him to stop here. Here we go. So as you can see, he's got different things like a Giant's Club, which that would be very difficult to come by. Lockpicks, how convenient there that they would have lockpicks. Now they are supposed to have some a ring of lockpicking. They are supposed to have some spell tomes that you can see here, including Eye of the Khajiit that I just passed by. Vampire armor. And you get your free little mitts on that. But in any case, a lot of construction stuff and food also, so if you're using the Heartfire DLC homes, you can get a lot of the construction materials that you need from them. And he has a spell tome for the Bound Dagger. Now, I don't use that personally, it always causes an issue. And wait a minute, we're missing somebody here. Where's your sister at? Okay, great. She must have, I could have swore she was just with them. That's one thing that you will need to know is with the... It's just a dragon riding a horse. What are you guys wondering about? You know, it's nothing out of the ordinary. That is one thing to realize with these kittens and these caravans. They do get separated quite often, but you don't need to worry because they... actually are doing what I was just getting ready to bring up, and that is they are able to... Oh, hey, there she is. Must have called up. Hey, stop. You're right.
Need something?
Yeah, you just stop. They can defend themselves. Let's see what's in her inventory. They have magic and stuff. I'm gonna kind of just scroll down through here, and she's also got a Giant's Club, and looks like it might be the same items that her brother had. Again, I'm not sure. I'm just kind of quickly scrolling through because... this video would be really long if I went one by one through everything, but it just gives you an idea. You can see they got quite a lot in their inventory. And now while the kittens, they may have the same thing, you know, the brother and sister might have the same thing, it is different from the leader of the caravan. But with these Khajiit, they can defend themselves. They have magic and stuff. I do believe they are essential. I'm not certain on that, but with the children in the game, they usually are, so you don't have to worry about them unless you have a mod that removes essentialness. But they do get separated quite often because of encountering things out here in the wild, which is why it may be best to wait for them to stop at their camps. I can't exactly say where this set of kittens actually camps out at. I've been following them a little bit, and they kind of just keep walking back and forth, but that'd be one thing. And oh great, now you're running off. She's trailing way back here, and he's way up there. So yeah, they get separated quite often, which is again why you might want to use a mod that I'm going to leave linked in the description box by a different mod author that I am using now that I found them. I put a tracker on them to find where they are at all times. It's very useful, and definitely if you're on console, I think one of the most important mods that you can have. But getting back to this one and the kittens here, let's go ahead and see if I can find the next group. You wouldn't believe how long it took to find this group. Again, I put a tracker on them, but I highly recommend that. So here is the kitten Zuki. And let's see what she has got. Okay, so it's quite a long time. In the edit it isn't going to be anything, but it was quite a long time finding this group from the last, so I can't recall if she has the same thing that the other kittens have. I see some things here I recognize, like the eye of Khajiit there, vampire armor. I remember the one kitten's having that. So, according to the mod description, they were supposed to have things that were unique that they found, but I don't honestly know if this is all the same, and if so, if you'd really only need to look for one set, which the easiest set of kittens would definitely be the... would be, again, Rasad's group, which was the only ones that I originally put trackers on and came to regret. Well, right now, this is actually good. Looks like they were tracking something, so you only got to see it a little bit before, but this will show, again, that when they're walking, if they encounter danger, like there's a troll out here, that they are very capable of taking care of themselves, as you see. And once they clear the danger, then they will continue on with what they were doing. So again, as far as my experience with them, you shouldn't need to really worry about them. Just let them, roam and do their thing. Let's see. Actually, I think that's the one I didn't talk to there. There's Armar. Wait. Just like a cat, it just does what it wants. Okay. Oh, that's something I want to bring up too. If Armar would stop and turn, you see the gray face bug is on the kitten. That is something that it talks about in the compatibility section of the mod description that, again, I highly suggest reading. And let's see, as I'm looking through this, again, there might be a couple of things here different, but a lot of the same stuff I'm seeing. So I can't say how much. They have a lot in stock and probably a lot of rare items, but I don't know how greatly it is going to vary between kitten and kitten. But the gray face bug, if you have issue with that, I know I do. I hate that bug. I tolerate it on them though because of their fur, and they just ran off and left you, didn't they? Because of their fur, it's not as noticeable, and I really like these kittens, so I keep them in there. But yeah, they just ran off and left the poor little guy. They're way up here. But anyways, they will have the gray face bug, or at least the kittens do. And luckily I called up to the rest of them here so we can see what they have. Now, it looks like it's reacting with multiple follower system, but I wouldn't suggest actually having them as a follower. I don't know if it could screw up the caravans or not. Let's see, this one doesn't have any thing unique. How about you? Okay, so this one can teach you in the art of speech. So they do have some various unique things. Okay, so this should be... I wonder why. Okay, so this is Kirai. This is the leader of this caravan, and again, it looks like she's got the same thing. There is the fishing CC that you saw, and let's see, you've got Madness Ore, several clothing items, several gems. So again, I'm really not seeing anything any different here, at least not that I recall from the previous shopkeeper. But that's something that you can check out more on your own. Now, one thing I want to point out here is talking to the adults. You notice the entire caravan stops, right? And then they continue on. However, talking to the kittens, the damn caravan... She saw, I guess, my candlelight spell. The damn caravan will just continue on and leave them. And this group, the reason they were so hard to find, they're currently right here. They're actually traveling around the same path. Dawnstar, as you can see there, they're right here. And they should be traveling to Riften. And they're pretty far away from it right now. I was actually traveling down that way myself and was surprised to find them up this far. Here is Riften on the map for those that don't know where it is. But they're actually, as you can see here, pretty far up this way. Here's what the tracker looks like that I've been talking about also, in case you were wondering if you didn't know what that mod was. It adds a tracker to them that you can see them on the overworld map. Here is Zuki. I put a tracker on her. But the odd thing is the other set of kittens that we saw just a little earlier, they are actually, that's his kids. Right here. Josai, his group was supposed to be traveling between Windhelm and Solitude, so the fact that I found them also up here near Dawnstar was a little bit surprising. And again, here is Zuki currently, so you can see they're not too far off from one another, and I wouldn't think that they'd be traveling that close together. So the mod description could have some inaccuracies there. Again, I really can't stress how important it is to have this tracking spell. let's take a look at the final set of kittens that I actually know where they are. They are definitely the easiest ones to find. So it's currently early morning in game, 7:28 a.m. to be precise, and Rasad's group is conveniently found right here, camped outside in Whiterun Field. They're actually right outside of the city gate. They are by far the easiest ones to find, as they do show up here quite often. They travel between Whiterun and Markrath, although I did have to wait quite a while because they took quite a while to get up here to be able to film this. But I definitely wanted them up here when I was filming this, and that is to hopefully be able to show something that is just a minor issue that occurs with this group, and only on occasion. Looks like the majority of them don't have anything for sale. The one over there that was sitting down could teach you to sneak, but the stars of the show are definitely here, as I have a tracker on Rasad, and the reason for that is because Rasad is the one that you speak to start the Saints and Seducers DLC. Although I did see that book in the other caravan leaders' inventories as well, so perhaps they're able to start it as well. But if starting it, I would suggest Rasad. And actually there's the book, so he's got another copy in there because I've long since bought that from him. So it does appear that they restock their inventory. And yes, I do realize I'm going through fast here, but it took quite a long time to find everybody with the exception of them, and then I still had to wait for them to get up here. Here is Jazan, and so if the other kittens are anything to go by, more than likely, yeah, the first thing I saw is the Akari hood, or whatever it is you want to call it, and again, they have lockpicks. They might have, because, again, the length of time that you guys are seeing this edited, and the time it took to actually get to each of these kittens to find the other two sets is quite a long time in between, so there's a few things that I don't recall, but a lot of it looks to be the same. Again, if you're using the mod, you'll just kind of have to go through and see. But this is the group I always go to. This is Kiara. This is the little female Khajiit. And as you can see, again, they all do suffer, just like you saw earlier with the one. They suffer from the gray face bug. But this is the group that I always go to if I need something. And again, they are the easiest to find, even if you don't use the tracker, because eventually they will show up out here in Whiterun Field. So as we go through, again, it looks like Kiara has pretty much the same thing that the other kittens had. But something that I want to show them doing, if I can get them to do that, I'm going to cut the footage right here and see if I can get them to do it and go over. It's a little minor issue. Here's something that I wanted to show, and then I'll cut it again if I need to. But something you didn't get to see with the Air Kittens is it's a nice little touch to this mod. They have those little toys, or at least this group does. Ah, good. There he goes, the little stinker. But they have these little toys. Okay, so the little issue that comes up is right here. Now, as shown previously, these kittens can use magic and stuff. While when they're camping out, they will practice their magic. Now the thing is, and it only seems to happen, but that could be just to me because this is the group I come across the most, is when they're practicing here in Whiterun Field, sometimes, for whatever reason, if I'm loading in here, like if I come out of that building over there, or I have my quick save set up a little ways away from here in Whiterun Field if I need to reload it, if I have issue, when they're doing this, not only will that sound persist constantly, but the controller will vibrate constantly, and that will stay happening no matter how far away from them you get. Even if you go into an interior or something else, that will continue to persist. It's just a minor issue, nothing game breaking, but the only way that I've found to fix it is to like go into an interior away from them, force a few autosaves, and then completely, like, you know, close app, reload it in order to get them to stop doing that. In fact, I even sent a message to the kittens one time and told them, I said, you know, could you kittens cut out the playing over there in Whiterun Field, because you're really wreaking havoc on my system. Now, I didn't expect really to hear any back from them or anything, but to my surprise, they did send me a reply. Furry little jackasses. And that's really the only issue that I've found with the mod in all the time that I've had it. And one time I had to reload it several times before it did stop that. But Nothing really too concerning. So in any case, friends, that is the mod if you are interested in it. Even if you don't look at it as far as having them as merchants, although they're definitely convenient to have, it's nice just to have a different child race in here than what you would normally have with like the Nord children and stuff to actually have to do with the Khajiit. There's also supposed to be one with the Argonians that I've seen from time to time, but I've never actually checked it. I might at some point, though, and see what that mod does. Anyways, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Take care. This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. Peace out.